What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Codex Station. It's Saturday night. It's time for some Comics Unleashed. I'm your host tonight, Sal the Slab Guy. Joining me right there is Dan the Kelly Art. And of course, down below is the Ric Flair of comics himself,
Woo!
Uncle Gary. How you guys doing?
A little tired, but all right.
Let's get some sports talk out of the way really quick. It is
Oh,
national. It is global. Yeah, talking geek. Wonder Man's
Wonder
Avenger.
Man's an Avenger.
I'll agree with that till the day I die.
I mean,
Today's global holiday, June 7th. It's a global holiday. Washington Capitals win the Stanley Cup. That's a global holiday. I've declared it.
I give you that. Yep. That was such a great day.
That was a great day indeed.
Oh, that was wonderful. Good memory.
Yep.
Capitals in the fountain, drunk all week. It was awesome.
That was pretty funny.
And then a year later, the Nationals did it.
Yep. And I think the same year the Nationals did it, the Mystics did it too, didn't they?
Yes, yeah. All that seemed to happen at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. All right. We're getting some stuff ready for tomorrow, the signing at Comic Logic. So,
yes, I am very much looking forward to it. Been looking forward to it for pretty much since it was announced.
Yeah, same here. It will be good.
yeah, be a fun time.
So once we do that, then things get a little quiet for a while.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, Richard.
What's up,
Glad you joined us. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Liz. I guess we'll see you tomorrow, probably.
Yep.
I hope for Jim Calafiore signing. Yep.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. And I do have some back issues.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and there's
back issues just looking at that stack.
Nice stack. Yeah. Make you strong.
That's right. That is right.
Mm-hmm.
Took Emily to the carnival today in Annapolis.
Oh, how was that?
I mean, it's a little carnival that's set up in the parking lot at the mall. So it's,
it's a carnival.
Sure, we've all been to those, taking kids to them. It's overpriced and it's hot as balls out, but they're having fun. So that makes it all worth it.
Right.
But yeah, I was surprised. I told Kate, I was like, yeah, we need to make sure to leave early so we can get there because it's a Saturday. It's at the mall, so there's going to be parking for people there for that, and people just at the mall on Saturday. It's going to be hard to find a parking spot. We found one like right beside it.
Nice.
Yeah, no problem finding the spot.
That always works.
Well, you know what, Liz? I have plenty of comics that I have for him to sign, so I'll hand one of them to you, and you can get him to sign that one.
Liz,
I'm not the ass that walks up and gives him a stack of stuff.
Well, he's going to do sketches for free, so you can get a blank sketch cover, and he'll do a sketch for you. You could ask him to do a Catwoman; he'll do a Catwoman for you.
Yeah,
you could buy a copy of his Ned Lord of the Pit. That he'll be selling.
How much is that Ned Lord of the Pit run?
The price on here says $29.99.
Okay, so probably about the same.
But yeah, it's a good hardcover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, I'm not taking one because he already signed that. I'm taking two, and then a couple single issues and a sketch cover for him to do a little quick thing on. What's up, Mr. Keith?
Well, Mr. Keith, how you doing, buddy?
I'll take that Aquaman. Tome, big giant omnibus.
Nice. I can't wait to see that Wildcat in person that he did for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's there. He hadn't mentioned it when we messaged a couple times this week, so we'll see if maybe. Hopefully it's there.
Oh, okay.
You're getting that, and you're getting a couple of the little prints like the ones you have, right?
Well, yeah. The original is pretty much the same size as those prints. I'm usually, I don't know how many Mike got because Mike commissioned the Moon Knight from him.
Oh, nice. Well, I just remember you saying that when you got it, like you were getting that and you were getting, and then like a couple of the prints came with it because I wasn't sure how you were going to hang it with where you have all the other ones.
Yeah, it'll go. I have to make an allowance. I've got two right now that aren't hung up that are just kind of laying or against, that are against the wall at the bottom of it, I've got a Johnny Thunder and a there's one Mr. Terrific, the original Terrific.
Oh, the Terry Sloan.
Terry Sloan. So the Wildcat. So I'll figure it out. I'm got to reconfigure, either put a whole nother row there, or I was considering of that JLA JSA grouping to just put at the top Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, like 3 figureheads, and then I can fit the 3 in. But then that messes up my geometric shape. So we'll see.
That ruins the flow.
So you can make it all like an octagon up there.
That's a whole lot. That adds too much. That's too much. That's then I've got to rearrange what I've already got. There's a lot of measuring involved in all that to get them all exactly right. Trust me, it's a thing.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, didn't do much today. We just kind of ran some errands. I went to the Frederick Beyond Comics because there's a book I ordered that got delayed, and I'm pissed. I'm gonna have to like email them and say I paid for the 2-day shipping and I got it in 7 days. That's not right. So I'm gonna ask for a refund or a partial refund on the shipping. And
as well, you should.
And I was up there and I was like, okay, let's just see if they got this issue. And boom, they did. So.
Oh, so that's the one you got. You didn't get the one in the mail yet.
No. I
thought when you sent it to me, I thought that's the one that you had gotten.
No, that's the one I bought at the shop.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I think I should have done that first,
Yeah.
This morning, Damien and I went and looked through a collection and spent 4 hours looking through the collection. Yeah.
That one you were talking about with all the Golden Age stuff?
Yeah, a good bit of Golden Age, mostly silver and bronze, but there's a good 2, well, actually more than that, probably 4 boxes that had some Golden Age in there. But yeah, so it's an interesting lot. So
is he gonna get it?
Well,
part of it.
There's a lot. It's kind of complicated, but there's a lot to, this is not a short term. We're playing a long game here, so it doesn't have to be done right away. And then there's another dealer this guy would like to would like to have a hand in, so it's working in conjunction with someone else too, so it can.
Oh yeah, I think I remembered you mentioning that that Damien would hook up with another
right, because this guy
together, then split the stuff up.
Yeah, but so something like that. So that's figured, because this fella that we went to see his collection, he'd bought a bunch of books from a guy, and he always said, if you sell your collection, let me know. And he's known him for years, and he'd like to honor that. So
fair.
If working through with him and Damien to sell the collection, I think they would each have pieces they would get, and so we have to talk to that guy and see his interest level and all that. So we'll see him in Carolina. So
Heroes Con, right?
At Heroes, yeah.
When is Heroes Con again?
I think I go down the 19th, so I think it's probably 2021, 22. I think
Gotcha.
June. Let's see what the.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, 2021, 22 of June. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll leave on Thursday to go down.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be going with. Yeah.
And that's the night you'll be out from Comic Character of the Week.
Yeah, so please have somebody. Have somebody.
Yes. I think Sonny's going to step up and jump in. We're not 100% sure yet, but we'll find somebody.
But yeah, pick somebody lame.
Yeah, so you'll be on this week, this coming week. It's the next
Juggernaut.
And I told Sonny that he could. I was like, look, you want to come on? Like, I figured you have no problem with Juggernaut because he's, a big X-Men fan. And and I told him, that he could pick the character for the week after that.
So he'll be on this week for Juggernaut too?
Possibly.
He said he said he'd let me know, but for now he was going to say yes.
And if he wants to do another X-Men character, that's fine with me. Just as long as it's not I think was I here for Wolverine? I think we did a Wolverine revisit that I did, I think.
Did we do a Wolverine revisit? I'm not sure.
Maybe not. Maybe we didn't. I thought we did.
Question. That's a good question.
Maybe yes, we did a Wolverine revisit, and I was here for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Heroes Con now. There's some cool people there to get signatures from. Jim Starlin, Claremont, Jerry Conway, Roy Thomas.
Conway's the reason I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conway is the reason I'm going.
Yeah, sure enough.
You're going to get his autograph. Are you going to get are you getting Roy Thomas too?
I'll see. I do have other stuff for Thomas. I've gotten Thomas's before. That's like the only place he goes, and he's like there one day.
What's up, Adam?
Hey, Adam.
George?
And you'll see Christopher. I'm also the famous pillow biter, Mike's. The famous pillow biter comic of action. I think it's 455.
Yeah.
Mike Grill did a backup story in it.
Yeah.
And Mike had him sign it saying, Mike Grill, I did not draw this cover. Okay. And so Mike was looking through things, and Jerry Conway evidently did the story of that Action Comics, and he wants me to have Conway sign it. I had nothing to do with this cover either. So I think that will be just hilarious. So hopefully Conway's got a good sense of humor. Bob Oskner did the cover, and I think he's been dead for a long time. So,
Yeah, Richard, I think a lot of YouTubers are going to Heroes Con. It's a big con.
You said you got Roy Thomas's signature before. Does he charge for him? Or
I can't remember. But he's one of the greats. If you got something for Roy that you want signed, bring it to me, and I'll get it signed.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could bring you a couple books, and like one or two for each one, and if you were in line to get signatures, if you could get them signed. But if you're not going to get them, like, don't go out of your way, because I've seen you at cons and I know how you work, so I don't want you to spend any time doing anything you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah,
because Claremont's going to be at Baltimore.
Yes.
Don't know if Starlin's going to be, though he has been there before.
Yeah, the ones that are going to be at Baltimore, don't send me those, but anybody because that just adds to the
confusion. Because I plan to be at Baltimore all 3 days. So, and I'm probably, thinking about the way that I'm going to do it is that I'll do like the first day I'll just do for getting in line, for like getting autographs and that stuff and filming content. And do you know what he charges?
Okay, Roy charges now. Well, we'll figure it out, because if it's $20 or so, that's okay. We'll work it out later. That's an all-time great. I don't know how many years he has left, so I think it's worth getting his signature.
Oh yeah.
And Conway, I don't know what he charges, but I know he's not been around in a long time, so I'm looking forward to that. But whatever you want me to sign, bring it tomorrow, because that's probably the last time I probably won't see you before I go to Heroes.
Yeah.
So
I guess, because Claremont will be at Baltimore.
Yeah.
All right. Richard says he thinks 15. That's fair.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. And Sal, same to you. If you've got anything for anybody that'll be at Heroes but not at Baltimore.
Right.
Crack some slabs.
Cracking some slabs, baby.
You know what?
I don't have anything off the top of my head.
I'll do it for you tomorrow when we're driving up. You can drive, and I'll just sit in the passenger seat with with a screwdriver and a pair of scissors, and I'll pop those slabs for you, no problem.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate
Don't
that.
hit a bump.
Yeah.
Because I think I was telling Sal earlier, one thing I want to do at Baltimore this year is I wanted, for some of the creators that are there, I want to get blank sketch covers for books that they've done, and then like do a sketch cover for it, and then get them to sign it, where it's not like, oh, I have these done and they happen to be there. I want to be like, all right, I know they're going to be there. Let me find something that they've done, and I'll sketch it out and get them to sign it, because I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Are you gonna do anything for your jam piece this year?
I hope so. I mean, it depends. I got all that money from the last batch of sketch covers I sold, and I was going to take that, but that's all gone with work done on the car and paying for Emily's birthday party and other bills. Like, oh, that money I was going to save,
Yeah, that's gone.
that's out the door already. So
Yeah.
I would like to get at least one artist to add to it, either Frank Cho or David Finch. Then that all depends too on on how much they charge.
Yeah, that'd be rocking.
Each one of them has done an Avengers in the past. So
yeah, that's why I want to.
Mhm.
That's why I want to do them. I was just looking on the Baltimore site too. It said Bonnie Wright, that played Ginny in Harry Potter, is going to be there this year, and a celebrity that I might actually be interested in getting to meet is Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Breaking Bad, Mandalorian, the new Captain America.
Yeah.
I don't remember who Jenny was in Harry Potter.
Jenny, Ron, the Weasleys, Ron's little sister, the one that ends up marrying Harry at the end.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember that. Yeah, Frank Cho. He's pretty much always at Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean he lives here, so
yeah, he's Maryland. He's a Maryland boy.
He's a Merlin boy.
I've actually got here. Give me a second. I'll hold.
That's right, Talking Geek. That is so right.
What Talking Geek say?
Kids and saving money don't mix.
Kids and what don't mix? Oh,
Saving
kids.
money.
Oh, don't mix.
So this is something I got signed by Frank Cho. God, I guess this had to be like I don't remember the year, maybe 12 years ago. And it's this big print that he did.
My God, I can't even see what's on that print.
It's
let's make a big screen. Maybe that'll help.
It's from when he had his run on the Ultimate Avengers. So
okay.
it's one big battle. So you kind of see some of them there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he signed it at the bottom. And I'd love to get it framed, but
it's huge.
It's so like it would have to be custom framed. I can't just buy a frame that this would fit. And it's so expensive to get stuff framed. I can't justify to myself spending like $150 to get something framed that I only spent about $20 to buy.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Almost my whole Sea Devils run is signed by someone named.
Nice.
Hey, that's a cool run to have though. I'm assuming you mean the original Sea Devils.
Pam, you and I, we both have all the Sea Devils.
Nice.
I believe 35 issues, I think. And then plus I have the showcase issues too. But Pam, those tone covers, so good. So good.
Yeah.
Russ Heath did those. Oh man.
Nice. All right, let's say we get some business out of the way and start up the show. So first, I'm going to reintroduce this guy next to me. It's Dan the Kelly Art. He's on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. Dan, tell everybody what you do and how much money they can give you.
They can give me all of their money because I certainly need it. Yeah, Instagram, Dan Kelly Art. I think I am cracked 900 followers and have not dipped down past. And let me check. As I say that, I'll probably look and be below that because
here's one of his most recent stuff that he did for me.
903. I'm at
903.
903. Nice.
903, and I've cracked 900 and not dipped below it for a week or two. So, on my march to 1,000, which slowly but surely. So we'll see if I can crack that by the end of the year. I got 6 months and change left to go. But yeah, post the art on there fairly regularly, music sometimes, videos now occasionally. So go check it out. Commissions are available. Yes, you're right, Liz. So close, like 90 some, away. And when I hit 1,000, I'll run some kind of giveaway. I don't know what it'll be, but
nice
something. I don't know. Maybe one of these sketch covers I do that I get somebody to autograph. I'll like get it graded and give that away or something.
That sounds cool.
I'll
That
be
sounds
up.
cool. I don't know, but I have kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Talking Geek. We were in that same boat. We're in that same boat. All right, why don't you introduce that guy that's down below us, holding up the pillars of the station right now?
With my fingers.
Look at that.
That's two mighty pointer fingers there.
Ow! Ow!
And you know what he uses those pointer fingers for? When he's at the comic shop on Wednesdays and people come in and they go, "What should I get?" He uses that mighty pointer finger. He's working it out. You know, he's got tiny little weights little dumbbells that he uses to work those fingers out so he could say, "What should you get?" He points there, there, there.
Ask Liz. She knows.
Mm-hmm.
Liz knows. She's bought quite a few things I've pointed at.
Yes, indeed.
So, hey, but you're seeing me at the shop. What shop you see me at? Oh, you see me there. You see me at Comic Logic, baby. Loudoun County, Virginia's only comic book store. If you're in the Northern Virginia area, please come by. See us. Stop in. Catch me on Wednesday. I'll be pointing those little fingers out. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Logic pen. We have a pretty good event coming up tomorrow from 11 to 3. We'll have the only Jim Calafiore or Jim Calafiore,
I think he said
Calafiore.
his name was
Calafiore.
something like that. I got to look up the video again when I talk to him because I asked him, like, how do you say your name?
Yeah, so I don't remember. I usually say California, but there's another Comic Logic Challenge pin. I told Rob that y'all appreciated that greatly.
Yes.
So, that's right. That's what you do. And Liz buys them, and so far so good. She hasn't been disappointed yet. Come see us. We'd love to see you tomorrow and get Jim Calafiore to sign a book for you. Get some Ned Volume 1 and Volume 2. The normal guy wakes up one day, he's the Lord of Hell, and he's got demons following him around, complicating his life. And as Mighty Mike Harbor would say, hilarity ensues. So there you go. But good guy, it's fun to talk to. So come see California and get some artwork. And had great runs on Aquaman and Exiles, and he's currently on Defenders of the Earth. So come see him. Batman Underground was a really great miniseries he did. So he's got some serious comic cred. So come see him tomorrow.
Secret Six.
Secret Six. Exiles. Yeah, let's give some love to the Comic Character of the Day site. Comic Character of the Day. It is where we all got acquainted. Started by the Archduke Kevy, and now being run by Dan. And he does a great random panel of the day. Great question of the day. Like today, Beast an Avenger? Of course he is an X-Men Avenger. And most people say, yeah, he is an X-Men. But most people acknowledge that what a miserable, pitiful existence it is as an X-Men. When he's an Avenger, he's happy. He's leaving blue fur all over ladies' apartments, all over Manhattan, because he's getting laid, my friend. So he's living his best life as an Avenger. So nope, there you go. Unholy Houses, like there you go. So so please, check out that site. Between me and Talking Geek, we usually will get you a cover of the day. Sometimes you even get two. So appreciate you, Talking Geek, for putting those covers up. And I think that's just reason enough to look at that site and be a part of that. So let's go back up there to the Slabatorium, where our wonderful host there is it's not code red, it's not ice blue, it's just like it's a regular non-party going on up there. So
That's
it's
all right.
Business. It's business tonight. No fun, just business.
Just business tonight.
Business.
Yep. I'm your host, Sal the Slab Guy, when I'm not here on the Codex team. Find me on YouTube under Sal's Comic Corner or Instagram as the Slab Guy 77. But also, got to check out our website, which is thecodexstation.com, designed by Uncle Gary himself.
Yeah.
Get some merch, meet the team.
Sure.
There's so much more stuff there. Gary, I can't praise you enough for your work on the website. I can't. It is amazing. It's wonderful.
Well, I can't take enough credit for doing it, because it wasn't even an afterthought to create all that.
Exactly. Just boom, there it is.
I just woke up one day and it was in existence. It was as if someone with some actual talent actually created it.
That was you. That was you.
Was that it? I thought it was a fever dream.
Oh, I woke up one morning, saw the codexstation.com, and I had to smoke a cigarette afterwards because it was that amazing. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Head on over to codexstation.com. Check it out. It's a great site. And it can also get us on all
those socials. Look at us. Look everybody here. We're dripping with the socials. We are so infected, and the only thing that can give us some relief is
more cowbell.
More cowbell. I got a fever that needs more cowbell.
More cowbell.
The only prescription. More cowbell.
That's right.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, go to any social media, hidden at the Codex Station, find us there. Do a like, share, and subscribe. Get us out to the masses so we can give this information out to more people. Also, we are doing a giveaway. Dan, you want to talk about that? I can throw up the pick for it now because we have that.
Yeah, so we got 3 Marvel books we're giving away this month in preparation for the Fantastic Four movie, with Shia LaBeouf being the Silver Surfer. We got What If issue 37, where she has the power cosmic for the first time. She's not the Silver Surfer in that; she's called Starglow, but that's the first time that she has the power cosmic. We've got Marvel Age number 12, which is the first appearance of Spider-Man's black costume, where it shows the concept art that a fan drew, and that was then bought by Marvel and used as his new costume with very slight alterations. So that's really the first appearance of it. And then the big one there, the Marvel Spotlight number 28, first solo Moon Knight story. First appearance of Marlene, first appearance of Crowley, first appearance of his alternate identities, Stephen Grant, and I'm blank on the other one's name now.
Crowley.
Not Frenchie.
No,
Marlena.
No, it was the alternate. You know, what's the cabbie's name?
Is that Lockley?
Lockley, yeah, Jake Lockley.
Jake Lockley, there it is.
Yeah, so it's a
Trifecta.
big book to have if you're a Moon Knight fan. That's an important one.
Yep, yes indeed. We go ahead and pull that off. There we go. Yes indeed. So please go over to Instagram or TikTok. Find out how to register. It's very easy, or sign up for it. If you do a hashtag and tag 2 friends, you get 2 entries. If you do a hashtag and enter in 5 other friends, you get 5 entries. There's no limit. So you could literally enter in 100 different friends and get.
How often do you get told there's no limit?
There is no limit. How often?
All you got to do is follow us.
Yep.
Subscribe to our YouTube page, and then there's a video on there. Tag your friends in that. Every person you tag, that's an entry you get. And then if they follow, then they subscribe and they start tagging people, then they get entered in. And then if those people subscribe and they tag people, they get entered in.
Yep.
And that's how it goes.
And so on and so on and so on.
Tag your enemies as well, because nothing will piss them off more if you win.
No.
Then thanks to them.
Yes. And you can tell us which one it is you hate the most. So if you win, we'll say, "Oh yeah, it was the entry you got from that guy, from that person that won." And then you could tell them, "See, that's what they told me."
Yeah.
Suck it.
Yep. You owe me.
There you go.
That's how the Codex Station works. We like to give you the gift of comics and also the gift of
revenge,
of tormenting your oppressors.
I love it.
Well,
that is awesome.
Yeah, there you go. That's always fun.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's go ahead and I'll kick off the opener here, and we'll see you folks in about.
Oh, wait, real second. I was going to say, we can't. I don't know. Was Pam on here? I can't remember if I saw. Yeah,
Pam's on here. Pam's talking Sea Devils.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say we got to have our second of sports talk for Pam because we know how much she likes it.
Oh yeah, she missed it earlier.
Did you see the NCAA ruling today from about the lawsuit from California, where the judge ruled that colleges can now directly pay players? They don't have to have the whole name, image, likeness thing. They can just directly pay them.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's a big deal.
And Aaron Rodgers joined the Steelers, which I was like, y'all gonna suck. They're gonna suck a little less than if Mason Rudolph was the quarterback, but yeah.
He's certainly better than what they had in the quarterback room before he signed.
Yeah. Oh no, that's what I said. He's better. It's
Yep.
better than if Mason Rudolph started. But I like where someone said, like, yeah, the Steelers are now, instead of going 9-8, they're gonna go 8-9.
They had. I mean, I was surprised that Rodgers threw for damn near 4,000 yards last year. I thought he'd had him. I'm stunned he got up to that number. So
Well, because they were behind in so many games.
yeah, but he could barely throw the ball 30 yards down the field. So that it just surprised me that he had that many yards, to be honest with you. So they'll say, I mean, he's definitely an upgrade to what they're got right now. That's for sure. So
It's one of those things where if you look at his stats, you're like, oh, he must have had a good year. But then if you actually watch it, you're like, oh no.
Well, he didn't do well. That's why it surprises me that he had that many yards, because it was not a good year.
Like you look at you look at the year McNabb was the starter for the Redskins. If you solely look at the stats, you're like, oh man, this guy was killing it. But if you watch the games, you're like,
yeah, no.
He was killing us. He
He was
wasn't
killing
killing
us.
it.
Yep. And we have to add that it's International Caps Day today, because this is the anniversary of the Caps winning Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Sal's petitioning to make that a national holiday.
It's a global holiday.
It's a global holiday.
It's a global holiday.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. All right. Is that it for our sports talk then of the evening? We can go ahead and kick off our intro.
Yeah, I just saw the NCAA thing. I was like, wow. Then I had to mention Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers because
Pam loves it.
You know, so the Steelers' recent string of mediocrity will continue.
Okay. All right, folks. Stick around for about 15 seconds. We're going to get this intro out of the way and kick off this show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Codex Station. I am your host here, Slab the Sound Guy. Right next to me is Dan the Kelly Art.
Did you say Slab the Sal guy?
No, I said Sal the Slab Guy.
You said Slab the Sal.
No, I didn't.
Dan, didn't he say Slab the Sal guy?
I was reading Richard's comment about McNabb, but I'm definitely going to go back after this and rewatch it. And if that's what he said, then yeah, I'm looking. All right, so he said it about the 32.5-minute mark. So right after we're done, I'm going to go check it, and I'm going to.
He said,
I'm going to record it.
Slab Guy.
I'm going to record it, and I'll do something with it. I don't know.
That would be great, but what would be worse would be Slap the Slab Guy. That would be worse.
True.
Oh, that would be a good bumper sticker that we could sell.
Slap the Sal Guy.
Slap the Slab Guy. Come on, guys.
We don't want that. We don't want that.
Don't make me stick Liz on you, and she'll come to my defense, won't you, Liz? All right. Well, of course, down below. Yeah,
I rewinded it.
Down below is Uncle Gary.
Yeah, I think somebody's got to engineer Sal saying Beast is an Avenger too.
Richard,
see?
you're not on my.
Richard, you're always there for me. Thank you. I love you, Richard. Thank you, brother.
Richard, when are you going to be on my side, Richard? When? When are you going to be on my side, Richard?
Well, I guess you got to be on the right side for him to be on your side, Sal.
Yeah.
Wow.
When they're ice skating in hell, he'll be on your side.
I plan on doing that.
Oh, what was that movie where Billy Crystal played the devil? And it was a Woody Allen movie because Woody Allen died and was down in hell. What'd you say?
I said thank you, Liz, because she introduced me.
No, that's a hung jury there. I'm gonna have to check it after the show's over. But yeah, like Woody Allen goes down to hell and Billy Crystal's there as the devil, and he's like, "Oh, you hot? You want me to turn the air conditioner on?" He goes, "You have air conditioning in hell?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, it screws up the ozone layer."
Nice.
All right. We haven't decided who wants to go first to show off stuff tonight. Who wants to go first? Dan, Gary?
It doesn't matter to me. You're running this show.
I'll go first. I got
Dan?
Sure. You make me big three?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Give me a second.
Do we need to have Gary take over the technical aspect?
Yeah, I have my camera in the way.
And then good night,
Oh,
ladies
it's
and
the camera's
gentlemen.
fault. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the camera's fault you couldn't work the control.
When I take over, it's good night, everybody. See you. See you next week.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start off with DC stuff. I've only read like a few of the books this week. I haven't had.
God, I'm 2 weeks behind. I am over 2 weeks behind.
I haven't read last week's stuff yet. Other than a couple books. So
I haven't read 2 weeks ago stuff. Jeez.
I just finished the 2 weeks ago stuff. So I got the reprint or the facsimile of the Action Comics 775, and even though it's a recent one, I got it because it's the sketch cover. So I'll figure out something to do with the Superman sketch cover. But it was this facsimile of this amazing Superman story with the Superman versus the Elite. I also got the JSA 8, which this issue was awesome.
I thought you hadn't read them yet. Yeah,
I said I read a few of them.
Okay. That is a great classic old school cover right there.
Yes, it is. And it very much goes with the story in it. I won't spoil it for you since you haven't read it, but if I were you, I would put this one at the top of your stack. The JSA are not the only DC World War II characters you see in it.
No, I love Wotan. There's villain. Listen, I haven't even read Hyde Street from last week. Is how screwed up I am.
And I'll say that Chris, I would imagine, loved this book.
Chris hasn't gotten it yet. Chris will get it tomorrow.
Or Chris will love it when he reads it.
Mm-hmm.
The final issue of Justice League, The Atom Project. So I was digging this miniseries. This is the final issue of it. So I presume that the story will carry over into, it kind of wraps it up, but not a whole lot. So I presume it will, carry over into the Justice League Unlimited title. I did get the third issue of this that I guess came out a couple weeks ago, but I missed the second one. So I got the second printing of Out of Alcatraz #2.
Nice.
Very cool.
So I did read this. So now I'll be able to go and read issue 3. And I really dug the first 2 issues. All the stuff I have left, I haven't read yet. Those were the only ones I got to. I got this amazing J. Scott Campbell cover for Pop Kill #4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Which that is going on the list of possible covers of the year.
Yeah.
That is a great cover.
Yes, it is.
He knows how to do legs.
What?
He knows how to do legs.
Yeah. Oh, Liz or Gary, Liz said.
I'm sure it was. It's just I can't read. I have to do the due diligence and read the week before's books before I can treat myself to that week's books. I've got stupid code.
I only read some of the ones this week because I'm like, all right, they're, I still have to read last week's, but I'm not like skipping in issues, so I can read some of this week just so I can talk about a little bit of it. But yeah, I gotta, whatever I didn't get to finish reading is going to go at the bottom of the stack underneath last week's stuff.
I even entered the last week's books on the CLZ. That's how bad I am. Bad.
I got this from Mad Cave, Endless Night, issue 1. I don't remember what this is about. I vaguely remember I guess the miniseries coming out. I vaguely remember seeing something about it and going like, oh, that sounds cool. I'll add that to my poll. I think it's something with vampires, but I don't remember exactly. But looking at it, Tom Derenick is the artist, who's an artist I really like. So that probably factored in a lot to me adding it to my poll. So I'll be interested to read this because, like I said, I don't remember why I added it to my poll other than seeing it and thinking, man, something about that sounds good. Radiant Black #34, which always gotta love those covers where you see somebody reflected in the face
Mhm.
mask of the main character.
Yeah, that's always cool.
Mark Spears Monsters #5.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that.
Yeah, so I got the Free Comic Book Day issue 0. I got issue 1. I missed 2 and 3. Well, I got like a 5th printing or 4th printing of issue 1. I missed 2 or 3, and I've got 4 and now 5. And then next week or the week after that, a 2nd or 3rd printing of issue 2 is coming out. So I'll get that and read it, and then I'll still have to get issue 3 before I can read the rest of these. So hopefully they will be releasing another print of that. And then on the back, it prints like all these different variant covers and stuff for it. And there's some
Gotta love some variants, man.
Pretty
Gotta love
cool
variants.
there.
Gotta love variants.
This one is a Kickstarter book that I got. So it goes with the independent stuff. So it is. Sorry, I'm just undoing the bag and board because I got all the extra bonus stuff that came with it. Because that's one thing I like about Kickstarter is all the good bonus stuff. So it is from Carl Kessel and David Hahn, the new Impossible Jones book, Impossible to Love. You see that awesome,
Nice.
shiny
Yeah.
cover,
Mhm.
that old style.
I haven't
know
gotten mine
Laura
yet.
appreciated the old style romance cover.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she's saying, of course, Demolition would rather be with Holly. They're both wanted criminals. If only I could tell him the truth, that I'm only pretending to be a superhero, that I'm really a thief, that I'm not impossible to love.
Nice. That is great.
And then you see they both signed it there,
Mhm.
but Han's signature is came to me a little smudged. But whatever, I don't care. It's cool. It's 28 out of 225.
Nice.
This cover they only printed enough for what they did in the Kickstarter. They didn't print a bunch of extras because usually these Kickstarters they'll print extra books that they have outside of the Kickstarter, so they have some to sell when they go to, like California tomorrow. So they'll have some to sell when they go to conventions and signings and stuff like that. So the extra stuff that came with it is I got this sticker, "No Need for Tears," which is one that you got if you backed it within the first 48 hours. And then it says, yeah, I supported Impossible to Love in the first 48 hours. So,
Nice.
I backed all of the ones that Kessel has done. So I always get those things too. And then he always does these little chibi stickers. I got those. Of course, I will not take them and stick them on anything. They'll just, all this stuff just goes in, in the back of the board. On the other side of the, we'll go on the other side here because that's just how I am. I've got to keep it all together.
Yeah.
I got this thing, the Witching You a Spooktacular Halloween.
Like it.
Very
And
cool.
then this one, I might actually try and find a little frame for this one because this, from the artist David Hahn, this painting that he did.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
like
that's really cool. So I might try and find a frame that'll fit that. And I would like to, if I ever am at a convention or something where David Hahn's at, I'd get him to sign, a book too, but I'd love to get him to sign this because that would be
That's great.
to hang up. So that's all the little bonuses. And Sal, you're still waiting on yours, right?
Yeah, I'm still waiting on mine.
Uh-huh. I also got Ultimate Spider-Man 17 since for some reason they didn't put it in my box last week. And then I went and checked on Comic Hub and none of the issues coming up were on there, so I had to add it back on for some reason. And he was telling me too, I don't know if you have this problem at the shop with your subs, maybe you're gonna ask Rob. He was telling me that with the Ghost Machine books that they're constantly like dropping off of people's subs and he's having to go and add them back on for whatever reason. I don't know if that's an issue with any other shop or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard him mention that.
Since you guys, when we had Brandon from Mon Comics on last week, since you guys, everybody was talking up this series, I went out and got the second print because they were sold out of the first print of Predator versus Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I did read this. This this was good. And the last page of this, oh,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yep.
And then, the one that just came out, issue 2, which again, the last page of this one, oh, awesome. Both of them were great in when you get to that last page and you see it, you're like, oh man, I can't wait for the next issue to come out to see what happens with this. Then the last new issue I got this week is Daredevil number 22.
Yep, against the fungus man.
So that is it for me for the new issues.
All right. Gary, you want to go next for new
Sure.
issues? All right, here we go. We'll get you up big screen.
Okay, let's go with a collected edition. I got this epic collection of the Avengers.
Nice.
And this is it's that great Ant-Man cover or with Hawkeye.
Yeah, that was the one where Scott took his daughter to the circus, I think, and then it was
Avengers 210 through 226, annual 11, and then it's also got Vision and Scarlet Witch 1 through 4. But this has got where I think the issue where Hank Pym, gets, get in trouble for abusing and all that. Those are in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, just nice to have them. I have all the originals, but I like to have those in easy to read format. Ultimate X-Men Wolverine. So let's see. It's okay. Don't love it.
Yeah, it's been okay for me too.
Yeah. All these have been good, so I'll continue to get these Straczynski little team up books. So
isn't that the last one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Spider-Man.
Yep.
Let's see. Daredevil with this disgusting fungal creature.
Yeah, it's not a great cover either. But
Helverine, and I've actually enjoyed this book. So,
and Mark Millar and Ramita are doing a Kickstarter now for a new book they came up with.
Okay, did not know that. Here's a Immortal Thor. Even an immortal can die, so I guess they'll kill him and relaunch.
Yeah.
X-Men. New issue of X-Men. That's it for Marvel, and then
All right, Liz. Good night. See you tomorrow. Hopefully.
See you tomorrow, Liz.
Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Heat Seeker.
Oh, that was the one with the most variants this week.
Did it have the most variants?
It did have the most variants.
Woo!
Did you pick up the other variants? That's the question.
They didn't come in for us.
All right.
Got a variant that was in a special bag. I couldn't see through. Also got Pop Kills number 4.
That's such a great cover, isn't it?
It sure is. Yeah. Got my Pop Kills. All right, I got Godzilla versus Justice League versus Kong number 2. I really enjoyed the Justice League Godzilla Kong book from last year. I'm not enjoying the Godzilla ones with the Marvel as much as I did this, so hopefully I'll love this. There's an alternate cover that's kind of cool with Rodan on the back.
Yeah.
And Manta in there, and some Injustice Society guys. And then
I think it's funny too that they're doing Godzilla crossover books with Marvel and with DC at the same time.
Yep, absolutely. So another great one with the JLA. So that's a lot of fun. Who else we got here? Yes, I'll look forward to reading that. Poison Ivy, a cover.
Yeah, Liz said talking about that cover. That's a cool cover.
I like that cover. Secret 6.
Blood Feud.
Catman versus Deadshot. Secret 6.
And you said that book's just kind of
it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see with that Absolute Superman.
So it's not as good as the original as the Simone Secret 6 run. How is it compared to the new 52 one?
Comparable.
All right, because that one was kind of.
Green Lantern. This supposedly was really good. People at the shop liked, so we'll see. The Absolute Green Lantern. Birds of Prey. A cover. It's really spectacular. This is the B cover.
Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So this is from the George Perez postcard set that I have
Yeah.
on my wall from 1984. They're making not of all of them evidently, but a good bit of it they're making. They're having the covers for like this, so that's great.
Hey, Bill, try relaunching your browser or updating your browser. I had the problem with the chat too the other day until I did the update. Chrome usually doesn't update if you use Chrome. So just FYI, that was an Uncle Gary teaching lesson.
Yep, yeah, I know. I'm glad you took that to heart. The
Yeah.
Atom Project.
I was gonna say, yeah, those George Perez ones they have coming out. They've got some. There's a cool. The Justice League one is one that's really cool. Yeah, Aquaman, Batman. The Green Arrow one is a really cool looking one.
Well, like I said, I have all the postcards hanging up on my ceiling that are pretty good. So hopefully they'll do them all eventually. Because one that's not on the initial slate is the Martian Manhunter. That one is great. There's the Superman one too. Here's that JSA issue.
Right. I don't know which one they would put the Martian Manhunter on right now. I guess me, because they're not going to do those on the Absolute books. They're just doing them on the Core line stuff.
Put it on the Justice League book.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Wildcat.
Oh, that's an awesome Wildcat.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep. So there you go. There's my newbies.
All right. Let me go ahead and bring up the screen. There we go. All right. Now for my picks this week. All right. For out of the gate, this is the indie from Omni Press. It's called The Sixth Gun.
Nice.
So it's like a medieval supernatural Western type of mix. It's pretty awesome. I liked it. The artwork is, pretty good too. Let me show you a couple of pages here. There we go. Yeah, artwork is not too bad at all.
I like it.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It's interesting enough for me to pick up issue 2 when it comes out. It picked up my Hello Darkness slab cover.
Oh, you got the slab. Yep. There you go.
Yep. So also got the Absolute Green Lantern number 3. Read it. It was good. So good book. And yep, I got this. Who doesn't like a good 3-way as well?
Oh,
Pay extra
absolutely.
for that. Pay extra for that in Vegas, but Justice League, Godzilla, Kong, and stuff. Have not read the second issue yet, but the first one was good. All new Venom number 7.
Nice.
So I don't like the actual pairing with Mary Jane and Flash Thompson, but the story had a good pivotal point in here. I felt that made it make a little bit more sense. So not bad. I'm not totally sold on it yet, but I'm not hating it. All right, so got Amazing Spider-Man number 5. I think you got a wicked alternate cover for that one, Gary. X-Men number 17. I missed the Wolverine Kitty Pryde number 2, so pick that up. I also got the Fungus Among Us Daredevil 22.
That is a Fungus Among Us. Yeah.
And what week would not be complete with a nice foily? I got Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 1. Foily goodness.
Have you read it?
Not yet. I've not read this yet.
Okay. How long do you think that they'll keep Daredevil in that 90s costume?
I don't know. I don't really care for it, to tell you the truth.
As far as I prefer his regular suit, but as far as all the 90s redesigns go, that was better than most of them. The only thing I really didn't like is the shoulder pads are just dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the rest of it I'm fine with. The padding, on like the knees and the thighs and all that, like it makes sense. The design's not terrible. The black and red works for him. Like I really like his other suit where they just take the regular Daredevil suit and make it black and then just make the DD red and then he's got the red eyes.
Yeah.
But those shoulder pads are just so dumb and they're so, they go so much against what the character is with being able to be athletic and move around.
Right. All right. So that's all our weekly stuff. So for back issues, Dan, you said you had some?
Yeah, I got 2.
All right. Here you go. Hang on. And there you go.
Yeah, it's nothing major. But these are ones my brother, like everybody knows that I am into comics. So he went to this flea market by where he lives the other day, and one of the guys had these for sale, and they were like 50 cents each. So I got Superman 270.
Oh, great 20 center.
Yeah, both of them are pretty beat up, but whatever. 50 cents.
Nick Cardy
50
cover.
cents. 50
Yeah,
cents
cool.
ain't bad.
Cool old Superman. Love the blue and the red
Mm-hmm.
trade dress on that one.
I love the Superman flying above it too.
Yeah, that's cool. And then this Marvel one, Astonishing Tales 21, featuring It, the Living Colossus. This one's pretty beat up, but I mean that's such a cool cover, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get this again?
It's just this flea market that's by where my brother lives in Calvert County.
Okay.
And it's something that they just set up on Saturdays, and anybody can come and set up a table and sell stuff, and him and his girlfriend go to it just about every Saturday and walk around to see what kind of deals they can find. And he said this guy just happened to have a few old comics, so he picked them up for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean 50 cents. I would have bought them too. These are the bags and boards I put them in. When he gave them to me, they were in they were just in like plastic sleeves, like you would put in a binder, like that you would put papers in.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's it for me for back issues. But it's always nice when somebody is thinking of you and they see something like an old comic and they're like, oh yeah, so and so likes comics. Let me pick it up for them.
Yeah. All right, Gary, how about you for back issues?
All right. So I was at Big Lick Comic Con last week, and I know I showed off what I got day one, right? I think. Let's just make sure I showed off this, right?
Yes, the UFO cover.
So I did that. Did I show that Tom Cellini gave me this Sex in the Comics?
I don't remember, but
don't remember that.
Yeah, I think I did. Oh yeah, I think I did. I can't show everything on the back, but
that's right. I remember you were holding the cover in the back. Yeah.
Okay. So he got me that. He gave that to me. So day two, I also got some books, and then I got 4 from Damien today. I'll show.
Calm down, Sonny.
There's no action figures. Yes. No action figures are present, Sonny.
Yeah, no, he likes Sex in the Comics, Sonny.
Oh, you'll appreciate this, Gary. I recommended a new segment for the podcast shows on Wednesdays. Call it Sonny's Toy Box, and each episode he would just hold up the box and reach in and pull out a random action figure part.
Yeah,
and whoever else is on the show with him would have to guess what action figure that came from.
Nice. So because Sonny won't know.
I was going to say, that's the fun part. Who knows if you'll be right or not, because Sonny doesn't know the names of any of the figures.
Well, I didn't realize this, but Sonny was in one of the Toy Story movies. It's not Sid, but remember the guys shipping the toys off to people, and there was a scene where they showed a post office, and on the post office wall they had wanted poster, and it was Sonny. So I thought that was great. Okay. What if Volume 2? What if the X-Men had never existed?
Yeah.
Okay.
All new, all different.
All new, all different.
Yeah, that's a good issue.
I have every issue of Volume 1, and I needed 2 issues of Volume 2. And Volume 1 went 47 issues. Volume 2 like 115 or something.
Yeah.
I need 1 more issue to complete everything. So
nice.
I have that one. I remember reading it when I got it. That's when it came out as a kid. That's a really cool story on that one.
Very good then. Volume 2 of Man Thing, I think it went 11 issues. This was the last issue of Volume 2. So I have maybe 4 or 5 of Volume 2. They're pretty cheap. I have all Volume 1, but Volume 2, when I see them cheap enough, I'm always looking for 20-cent DCs, especially when you get them for $2.
Oh, nice.
Made of Satan.
Isn't that great? Beowulf.
Bringing some classic literature into the...
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Up in the class, baby.
Here's a 12-cent Superboy, number 97. Just look at the condition of this.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Look at that, right?
I'll say something too about Beowulf. If you want to do something that's really hard, and I had to do it in class, try reading Beowulf in the original Old English.
Okay.
You have no idea what's going on.
No fun. And the Secret Life of Crypto. So I got a crypto story in there.
There you
A
go.
little super baby.
So I'm telling Mark Nathan, the man that runs the Baltimore Comic Con, about I've completed my Legion appearances. I'm pretty sure I've completed them. He goes, "Oh, do you have Lois Lane 50?" I'm like, "Oh, God damn it! What do you mean Lois Lane?" What? And damn it, there's a freaking Legion appearance. Lois Lane 50. They're just in a few panels. So now I'm shelling out $30 for Lois Lane 50 to get, But he goes, "You got Lois Lane 50? Son of a bitch." So now I do. All right.
So now you're gonna collect all of Lois Lane?
No, just the Legion is in. The Legion had an appearance in there. I got the Jimmy Olsen because he's in a few Jimmy Olsens too, and I have those. But daggone Lois Lane 50. All right.
So you've got them all now. You got all the Legion.
I think I do, but there could be a couple like 1 or 2 panel appearances. But for all intents and purposes, and that they were an integral part of the story. But I still got
They're there.
Yeah. Venture Comics 284. This is a 10-cent issue. I'm probably going to go 250 up or 247 up on this. That's the first Legion with my adventure run. So I've got some work to do on it. But still, here's another great crypto cover. It's in good shape. A lot of these have backup. Like it has here. It's got a Aquaman backup. So another reason to have it. So
should message Mark Wade and he my buddy says he has every appearance of the Legion of Superheroes. Since you know everything about DC, are there what are the most obscure appearances of the Legions to make sure that he has them?
Yeah. And there's a couple of Jimmy Olsen covers where he's mimicking them dressed as them or whatever. I'm not getting those. That's not a Legion appearance. That's him wearing the laundry. So I'm not getting those. But the Legion was in a few of those issues. Here's another 20-cent DC for $2.
Yep.
That's a
cool cover.
Yeah, that's Kaluta. That's a Kaluta cover, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I saw the Legion F lister that Sonny put up, and it's like there's no arguing with that one.
No, that was fine with me. All right, I got a just because it was $2. Here was a JLA annual alternate cover I didn't have.
Nice.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah. So I like that.
Detective Chimp with a big ass sword.
That's Nightmaster's sword, who I'm surprised to see there's a McFarlane figure of Nightmaster, which, surprises me because he's pretty obscure. For $2, I always get these because I like they're great gifts.
Great cover.
Group shots.
And this is a wraparound cover, but you can't see it. You just have to imagine it. But there you go.
I saw the Nightmaster figure too, and I want to say I saw it in Target or Walmart, and I was surprised to see it. Like, this is
very, very obscure. Bernie Wrightsman's co-creator of Nightmaster, but that's the sword he's toting around. And I got a signed copy. I have this book, but I didn't have a signed copy of it for $2. It's a Sergeant Rock, Billy Tucci signature.
Wow, that's such a good cover too. $2, you can't beat that.
Yeah, $2 signed, Billy Tucci signature. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
I like when they sign on areas that doesn't block or obscure the picture.
Absolutely. Again, I'm not a big fan of having the cover signed, but it's already signed. It's $2. Sure, So, also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in my Legion showcase. That would be Legion first appearance showcase. Wow, that's a pretty good showcase, Pam. All right, I'll.
That would be. Most of them are in the Legion book proper, though. Like, there's not.
Well, most of them are in Adventure Comics.
Or Adventure Comics, I mean, but like, it's not like, oh, I got to pull this issue from Superman, from Adventure, and this from this, and this, from here. So
yeah, Pam, that's a good idea. I could do that. Since I'm almost on summer vacation, I can maybe do it some time for that. But that's a good idea. I will take that. I'll take that great idea under advisement. So how many? 1, 2, 8. So I got 8 unexpecteds in my insane quest, to complete unexpected now. So Here's 96.
Oh, I like that one.
I like that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, witch brooms. He's buying a witch broom. It's 96. Here's 92.
Nice.
These are pretty good shape. Captives of the giant raindrops.
Oh, speaking of Legion, that alphabet thing that Barry Kitson did for
That
us.
was really good. That was
Like-
really good. I love that. And then
Yeah.
all of them flying out. That was good too. So thanks for.
Yeah,
showing.
he said on his page the picture of it. He's like, the picture of this isn't great because it's too big for him to scan. So he just took it with a cell phone. He goes, if he ever comes across somebody that can like scan the whole thing to get it in detail, it'd be even better.
There's unexpected 88.
Oh,
Doug, what happened to your face? It's the same as your costume mask. Oh no, Doug. Oh no. Yeah,
Ew.
not a good look.
That's
I
a cool radio.
really dig this cover, number 85. The day red turned green.
Nice.
Wow, that is cool.
Isn't that cool? Huh? Everything
Yeah.
red is turning green, but why? Even the Superman logo, up there,
Yeah.
usually red, where it's a Superman in DC. So I just think that is
Why is
really
there-
cool.
Why is her skin turning green though?
Yeah. His screen.
They're Native Americans.
Oh. That's yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. Look at the fire, the flames.
Yeah, the
You know,
colors on that are fantastic.
Yeah, isn't that really good?
Yeah.
So
Colors on that, like just on the cover, the colors on that are so good.
yeah, these are in pretty nice shape. 81. Yeah.
Nice.
What a grim joke, Space Ranger. You came here to capture us and ended up dying with us. Yeah, what a grim joke. The execution of Space Ranger. Like he's pointing those space guns out. All right, here we go. Yep. Pew pew. 58. No wonder Tark Space Pet is growling at him. He isn't Tark. It's our leader. He's Space Ranger. Oh, Space Ranger is playing cosplay. And,
Yeah.
yep, boss of the Saturnian Legion. Feels unexpected.
Did you get all these issues from the same vendor or
Mark Nathan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all these unexpected from Mark. So of course he cut me a really good deal. Now this one, this is self. I had to get this. My final prediction has come to pass. Space Ranger destroys his friend Cyril. Okay, we got that. But you know what was really important is what my finger is covering. It's the Beast Oracle of Uranus. Yeah. So got to read about the Beast Oracle of Uranus.
Got to.
Yeah, I got to find out. So
I mean, I don't think it's any coincidence that that's the name of it, and they drew the thing to look like a hemorrhoid.
Yeah, there you go. I agree with you there. And then number 76.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's the divided man. So anyway, so that's another 8. So I'm probably 80 issues away from having them all.
Yeah. How many issues did it run?
222. And before I started this before I bought Unexpected 1 and went down this rabbit hole, I had 99 up. So I had the majority of it. But damn it. And then I got 4 books from Damien. Before I show them, I'll show my shirt here. This is Warthog Comics, December 2020 Garage Con. So if you remember, 2020, we're in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, that was.
Mighty Mike Harbor was suffering. He was jonesing bad for a con. I mean, he was hurting. He needed it bad. So I had this great idea with Damien. Hey, how about we set up a little mini con in your garage? And that's what we did. And we surprised Mike and we took him to Damien's. And we had Garage Con, and then we had a Garage Con 2. We had a second one, and it was really cool. And Damien actually called some of his clients, and he scheduled people. He slotted people in as an invitation only invite, and people came through the day. So, and Kurt made Garage Con shirts. So how cool is that?
That's cool.
Yeah,
That is cool.
So Kurt,
That's pretty awesome.
yeah. So,
Let me ask you this about your unexpected books. You
yes,
said you got them all from Mark Nathan.
yes.
Now, did you go to him and say, "Hey, I'm looking for unexpected books," or did he just pop some books in front of you and say, "I know you're looking for these. Boom, here you go."
Well, I hadn't told him, but I'm always looking through stuff anyway. He always has a great selection.
Okay.
So I got, and some of the ones I got the day before were a couple of House of Mysteries from him.
Yeah.
So Sunday I went back and I got some of the unexpected, and they're really nice shape too. So that's the other thing about them. They're in pretty good shape, which I really like. All right,
Very
so
good.
today,
I was going
Okay.
to say too for Mark Nathan Sal. Do you remember when we interviewed him? Do you
Yeah.
remember what he said his favorite comic character was?
No, I do not. What was it?
Do you remember, Gary? There you go.
Uncle Scrooge
Or Donald.
or
Yeah,
Donald.
he was
Okay.
a big Carl Barks. He was a big Carl Barks fan.
Okay, so
Nice. I forgot that.
the reason I have this, and you know, he has some of these great artists. So I do have 3 more from Nathan. He has these great artists draw him original art, and it's of Donald or Scrooge McDuck or, you know, the Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and that's what he has them when he commissions pieces from. So that's kind of neat that he's got this great original art at his house of these commissions. So, you know, pretty cool. So I got this because there's a Batman issue. I think I've talked about with y'all. It's Detective. God, it's the vampire issue. It's a 455. I think it's 455, and it's
Yeah.
it's an issue that Mike Grill drew. Elliot S. Magan wrote it, and Bernie Wrightson did the thumbnails, but he wasn't able to do pencil it out. I can't remember why, time constraints or whatever. Mike Grill came and worked from the thumbnails and did the issue. And he goes, poor Bernie never got any credit for it. And it's a great story. But that book is such a great vampire story. Mike and I were telling Mark about it, and he goes, well, I didn't read that. So Mark read it, did his book report, loved it, and then he's given me a book report now. Because I said I never got into the Disney books. He goes, what about if I give you I make you read a Disney book where the duck, you know, I don't know if it's Donald or Scrooge, meets Thor. And so Thor is in here as, you know, a Disney character, Thor. So I'll read this, and this is to go back to Mark in Carolina. So I've got homework to do. What I'll probably do is, you know, he's got 30 on it. I'll probably end up just buying it because Mark recommended it and all that. So I'll do my oral report and buy it. So that was kind of neat that Mark wanted me to do that. And honestly, I really get a kick out of seeing Mark at Big Lick because, you know, when he's at Baltimore, I don't have time to talk to him like that. He's too busy. He's got a million things going on at once. So last year, Diane bought a few books from him. Bought some Western books that appealed to him, and I let her make the deal and all that. Mark made the deal with her, and it was kind of fun. So I got one for me and one for her. This I got for me. This is All-Star Western 106, and All-Star Western is a continuation of All-Star comics because All-Star went to 57, and then 58 it became All-Star Western. So this is a continuation of that great line, but I just thought it was a great cover.
That is cool.
That is pretty cool.
Look, isn't that great? Just,
yeah.
Look at the colors in that, right?
Yeah.
106. So Trap of the Flaming Apples. Arrows. Look, the arrows sticking in the fort. And they got
It's like jumping out, firing at the same time.
Yep, he's jumping out, shooting while he's carrying a gal. There you go. That's pretty good. And then I got one. Then Western Comics was the series. She bought 3 issues from him last year. And here's Western Comics number 12.
Nice.
So this is a Golden Age book starring the Wyoming Kid. So she likes covers with the horses on them where the horses aren't stressed. So there's another cool one that had Indians on it, and some of the horses were stressed. And she did not, she wasn't able to go with me. I sent her pictures of them because I was going to make a deal, and this is the one she liked. So that was for her. Now back to today. You know, Damien and I went and looked at that collection. Oh man. The centerpiece of this guy's collection had an AF-15 today, and there was color touch on his AF-15, and he didn't know, and you had to say, "Oh man, yeah, I hated that." You had to tell him. I mean, that dropped that book $10,000 in price.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though is, you know, back before CGC came around and was given like purple labels of this stuff. People looked at, I mean, you probably know, people looked at comic restoration differently. Like they didn't look at it as, oh, this is a downgrade. They actually looked at it as, oh, they did restoration on this. Looks so much better now. And it added value to it. It wasn't until CGC started giving that purple label and, you know, and saying, oh, it's restored and listing what it was that people started saying, oh, well, I don't want that.
Right. And so the color touches, you know, Damien, you know, we held it up to the light and you could see it and all, but he's got that trained eye to see it. And even every now and then some small ones he might even miss, but you could tell There's a way you can look at the staples to see if they've been done. But the one that's kind of insidious is when they trim them.
Yeah.
Because you really got to know if that book was wider or whatever. But when they trim the covers, oh man, that's real sneaky. So this book I had, but this is an upgrade. So
that's pretty cool.
This is just a great, and this isn't a Superman. This is DC 100-page Super Spectacular, which is one of the weirdest numberings because at some point during the numbers they had dual numbering where it was DC 100-page Super Spectacular, and it was an issue in the run of like Superman or Army at War or Flash. So the dual numbering is crazy. And this series, here's number 18. It started with number 4. There wasn't 1, 2, or 3. So it's just so weird. And it went to 22. So but this is just I ended up getting this for $20. It's easily worth 30. It's just a nice upgrade for the one I have. So
you said it started with issue 4.
Yeah, issue 4, and it's a great Bernie Wrightson weird mystery tales.
So was it another book that ran 3 issues and then they changed the title of it?
No, not that I can ascertain. No, because sometimes they'll do that, but I don't know. I mean, they do nutty things. Look at that DC special series that the first bunch of them are like dollar comics. And then it goes to digest, and then it goes to Treasury editions, which is like us, Sal, who's very anal about how he stores things. So how do you store that? You got regular issues, digest, and then treasuries.
Yeah.
How are you keeping those together, brother?
Because I was looking at, it's interesting. There was it started at the end of the Golden Age and went into the Silver Age. It was, and I was looking at it, Nature Boy issue 3, because it's the final Golden Age appearance of Blue Beetle, the original one. Dan Garrett shows his origin, and it's got a really cool cover too, and it's early John Buscema work. But it only ran 3 issues, but those 3 issues were 3, 4, and 5 because the first 2 issues were the series called Johnny Blaze and about a firefighter, and it went 2 issues of Johnny Blaze, then 3 issues of Nature Boy, and then it changed the title for issue 6 to like something else completely different.
I didn't know that Ric Flair was in it.
Woo! Star Spangled War, the DC title that became that started with or that showed the monsters was Star Spangled Comics, and then it went to Star Spangled War, and I think issues like 126, 127, and then they decided they would change the numbering, and the third issue then they had issue 3. So 126, 127 were basically 1 and 2, and then the next issue was 3, and it started the numbering. Okay, all well and good. Well, guess what? That series ran for over 100 something issues. So there's another 126 and 127.
Yeah.
God.
As if that isn't confusing. So
all
right.
Like Amazing Fantasy 50, like there's Amazing Adult Fantasy, and
right.
Like, well, now it's going to be Amazing Fantasy, and now we're going to cancel it. Like there's it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so often that they do that.
Okay, so here we go. I got 3 issues of Strange Adventures. Strange Adventures went 244 issues. This is the title where there was the first Animal Man was in it. The first Dead Man was a part of Strange Adventures. The first Captain Comet. So I'm never going to complete that set, but I am getting. There's some really cool covers. My Snowmen cover is Strange Adventures.
Yeah.
The giant hand coming up is a Strange Adventures over the car. But here's another cool one. And this is a bunch of aliens. And it says, "You won't keep us imprisoned in this safety deposit for long, Jenkins. We'll get out somehow and settle our score with you." So he's putting these little alien men in the safety deposit box.
That's a stack of cash.
And look at the one. Look at him shaking his fist at him. "You won't keep us imprisoned in this safety deposit box for long, Jenkins. We'll get out somehow."
He's just like, whatever.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a rat's ass. Get in there. But yeah, look, you got the cash. Look, the dudes are down there. Yeah, look at the dudes down there. The guard with his back turned. But yeah, I just think that's hilarious. He's putting him in the safety.
The guard's doing his best, Colonel Clink or Sergeant.
Yeah,
Clink.
right. It's funny,
Schultz.
It's funny that he's got his fist, and then it's got the line, like the action lines around it to show that he's shaking.
Yeah, that he's shaking.
I see nothing.
So that's number 84. So pretty cool, and nice shape too. That's high grade. That's high grade. Here's another high grade. This is 20 center, 238.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
That's
a
great
Kaluta
shape.
cover. Yep. So we got miniature spacemen again. So there's a theme. So we got an Adam Strange story, the man who killed himself, the secret of the Tom Thumb spaceman. So again, that's a great Mike Kaluta cover.
Yeah, the terror on that guy's face is great.
Yeah, pointing his ray gun at his face, his little ray gun. And then I also got the last issue, which was 244, and it's kind of a trippy cover. Here's your new pet, dear. Let me out of here, you bird brains. How wonderful it talks. So there you go. Last issue of Strange Adventures.
That's crazy.
Isn't that good?
That's
How wonderful it talks. Yeah. So the prisoner of the parakeets. So,
do they even clean up after him? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. So, like I said, so I'll be getting these as the covers dictate to me. So,
Okay.
but
until he gets a bunch of them, and then I'll be like,
I know it might happen. Might freaking happen, but at this point, let me just get the cool cover. There's a lot of UFO covers on there, so I've become quite a fan of a lot of the UFO stuff. So it's pretty cool. So there are my back issues.
All right.
That duck book is cool though. How you're reading that and talking to Nathan about it, because man, Karl Barks' art was so good, and the duck books were such good sellers for a while, but he got no credit for it. No one knew who he was because they wanted to keep the illusion that Walt Disney himself did everything. So none of the comics, none of that stuff was allowed to have anybody's else's name on it. And, and he was someone that never was able to travel himself as much as he wanted to, but he had this whole collection of world encyclopedias. So the way that he kind of traveled was to look through them and then draw these duck stories of these globe-trotting adventures that they had.
Wow, that's awesome. Rosa does a lot of them now. He's always at Baltimore.
Don Rosa was. It's funny because Don Rosa was a guy that he was just a fan. He was just a huge fan of Karl Barks, and he kind of started drawing basically like fan fiction, and then it was so good that he actually started getting it published. And then he because his family was not like real well to do, but they had their own company, and he ended up having to choose between running the company and doing these books, and it took so long for him to do the books that he couldn't run the company at the same time, so he sold it so they could still do that. And even though the duck comics aren't popular in the US anymore, they're still huge overseas, especially in Japan. They're huge over there, and Disney won't reprint any of that stuff anymore.
Wow.
They were the Rosa stuff and the Karl Barks stuff, they just refused to reprint it.
The other thing to keep in mind about this book with the Thor appearance, this predates Marvel's Thor.
Oh, okay.
This is 1961.
I'm telling you, the art, you look at the cover of it,
it looks like in there.
You look at the cover and you think all right, this is pretty basic, but those books, when you got into them and saw the adventures and stuff, the artwork was so good.
Well, I'll find out when I peruse it and read. I mean, he showed me the pages and there's Thor there, and it was, it was kind of fun. So we'll see. And like I said, I'll probably honor it by buying a Disney book from him. So there we go.
Maybe you'll get hooked and you'll be like, God damn it, now I got to start collecting duck books.
No.
But you know what that means? We all have to start buying duck books for Gary until he gets enough that he determines that he's got to get them all.
Let me tell you something. If I'm going to collect duck books, I'm going to start with Sal's favorite.
Oh, God. Better to you than me. Better to you than
Sal's,
me.
and I already have his first appearance in
then there you go.
19.
You're started off.
Howard the Duck.
You're started off. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Time for my back issues. I only have one really old one due to a post office delay. I didn't get all my other back issues, but this one I did get. This is Green Lantern number 35. First appearance of the Aerialist. So
that's
and how many Green Lanterns do you need to complete that?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head. I would have to look it up.
So, but do you have like all the end ones,
I
up to
do.
like 224? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me. I can tell you what I've got. 1 second. Volume 2. So after I get that next batch in, I will have from 120 up to 224.
Nice.
Okay, and then I'm broken. Similar to my X-Men run, it was all broken up all over the place. I'm all over the place with this as well, but um, I'm gonna say like every decade of books, like the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, I'm missing about 4, maybe 5,
Okay.
depending on the decade for each one.
Nice.
So
Oh, today when we're looking at that collection,
yeah.
damn if he didn't have a Sergeant Rock 320 and 323. These ones that have been bedeviling me. He actually had 2 320s.
Oh
I
my
said, that's why
gosh.
I can't find it. You're holding 2 of them. So
Were you tempted to go to the guy and be like, look, whatever happens, like, what do you want for these 2?
oh well, yeah, I will. There's yeah, these books will move. I mean, so
Yeah.
there's a couple others I want. There's 2 All-Stars I would like to have out of this collection.
Mm.
40 and 57, which is the last issue of All-Star. And then it's kind of scarce. It's an Eiffel Tower cover.
Yeah, that's the last Golden Age one, and then they restarted it with 58 when they introduced like Power Girl and
right, and 50. Well, with the All-Star, right, but 58 became All-Star Western.
Right.
Yeah, and then but yeah, the All-Star, and he did have an All-Star 58 too, a nice copy of that with Power Girl, and then so it was nice to see those. And then there's a Haunt of Fear, the strap hanger cover, where it's
nice.
just the arm hanging.
Just the arm hanging from the strap.
I want that one. And then the last issue of Tales from the Crypt, I don't know, 45, 46, something like that. It's the last issue, and it was a werewolf cover. So,
that's
all right.
Those are what I'm eyeing in that collection. So we'll see.
Okay.
So Sal, when you finish your X-Men run, will Green Lantern be the next one you go to complete, or I know you always go after Amazing Spider-Man too. Would that be a contender?
It would be a contender, but I think I'm closer on GL than I am on Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay, the Spider, I think it probably also has to factor in too, right? Like price of the books for like how because Spider-Man's one of those ones like there's a lot of big first appearances and stuff in it.
Right, and all those books are really, I don't know. Some of the older books, I want to say anywhere from 100 up to whatever.
Yeah, this guy had a complete run of Spider-Man except for number 1.
Right. Those books are starting to jump in price now, where they're not just $5 to $10 books anymore. They're up there. Anything under 100, man, that stuff is really jumping high as well. So, all right. So for my other stuff that I picked up, I have that subscription to Heroes Corner Comics, where they give me a lot of chances at variants, which is awesome. So I'll just run through a couple of variants that I really thought were cool. The Void Rivals.
Yeah. Rek'Gar with his laser gun titties.
Yep. Gotta love that.
You talk about back issues too. You want back issues? Talk to Sal's postal delivery guy every time you get the Heroes Corner delivery.
Yeah, that's right. This GL was a good one.
Cool.
Yeah, he's pretty muscular there.
Yep. This Detective Comics 1097. Thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Ultimate Spider-Man number 17. Nice Mary Jane.
What's up, girl?
Yeah.
It's not bad. This was the Spider-Man Wolverine Mark Bagley cover.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that Bagley?
That's Bagley art.
Bagley art? Is that Bagley art? So I'll go through these next few real fast, but they're all the timeless ones.
Yeah.
Now,
Nice.
the Spider-Man Wolverine one, is that the old one that Mark Bright did, or is that a new one?
No, this is a new one. This is a new mini.
Oh, okay.
New mini.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go through the timeless ones here pretty quick.
Mhm.
Most of these we've seen. Him, Moon Knight.
That
Moon Knight.
That Moon Knight one is awesome, isn't it? Quicksilver. Goliath.
Nighthawk.
Nighthawk, yeah. Blanked on his name there.
That first Nighthawk costume was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Valkyrie there with
Yeah.
I know.
I'm glad she shaved. I'm glad she shaved her pits.
Yeah.
The second Nighthawk costume that was the blue and the black one was really cool.
Yeah.
That's a good
Nick
one.
Fury, Iron Fist.
That's a good one.
I like this Ant-Man.
Yeah, I like the Ant-Man one too.
And this Captain Marvel.
Nice.
So there we go. That's all I have for this week.
Nice.
So we'll go ahead and set this back up here. Here we go. Gary, you got to go there to hold us up because that's what you do all the time. You're holding us up. There you go. All right. Do we have anything else we want to talk about? We don't have a showcase, do we?
No showcase tonight. Somebody
That's
was
all right.
sleeping.
That's all right. Yep. Next week we'll have a showcase for sure.
So I was wondering if one of our viewers would come up with a great idea. So Pam did.
Yes, she did.
I won't have it ready for next week. It'll have to be after Carolina.
I have texted Gary once or twice, be like, "Hey, here's a good idea for a showcase," and he's like, "Man, you know how long it would take me to pull all the books out for that?" And I go, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right about that." But
well, yeah, right. Because like with what Pam's asking, most of that is in Adventure Comics. I just need to, I can go to the Adventure Comics, and the only thing that's a little tricky is that I bought some over the past few years where I'm consolidating them, but I can definitely get the first appearances. I think that's fairly easy. But yeah, when they're a certain theme and you got to go to 10 different titles, that's what that's why a lot of times I just like to grab a stack. Here we go.
And well, with the Legion one too, like they would have it where you'd have like one issue that have the first appearance of like 5 or 6 characters. And then another issue that would have the first appearance of 2 or 3 of them. So it wasn't often that it was just like one character for a first appearance. It would be
right
of them.
Yeah, Action 276. I looked for that for a long time, and that was one that had a bunch of first appearances. It's a Supergirl cover, and there's like Chameleon Boy, Colossal Boy. There's maybe Brainiac 5 in that one too. But yeah, there's like 5 first appearances in that. So
I did like I'm not often a fan of retcon stuff, but I did like the retcon that they did with Colossal Boy in the Wade Kitson run, where instead of him just being a normal sized guy, then he can grow big, that he was from a planet of giants and his power was that he could shrink when none of them could. And he kept wanting to be called like Shrinking Lad or something.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was interesting, but traditionally Colossal Boy's from Earth.
Yeah.
So they had to change that up a little bit.
I was like, you know what? That's a pretty clever idea too. And it adds that little dimension where they call him Colossal when he keeps saying like, no, I'm Shrinking Lad.
I'm Shrinking Lad. Yeah.
Oh, get my name right.
I can't remember if that's the name he wanted, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
Well, in the bedroom, Shrinking Lad doesn't do you very good.
No. Well,
Colossal Boy.
Yeah.
That works better.
That works better.
So I just looked it up. My Green Lantern, Volume 2, I am missing 77 issues.
Okay. Not bad.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
How many?
77.
No, I said out of how many?
Oh, what did that run go? 224?
224.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it ended with the last 20 issues were 201 to 224 were Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, but they were still part of that. I just saw a complete run today. So, yeah.
So you got about 2/3 of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not bad.
My run was
what I'm sitting at with my Avengers run that I'm working on is about 2/3 of it.
Right. That's right.
See, we all got stuff to work on.
We all got stuff to work on. Indeed. And I hate it because, I'm trying to focus on the X-Men books because I'm getting close now. And I know the books that I'm looking at are going to cost some money. So I'm like, okay, I got to budget so much a month and set that aside. And then I, set some money aside. It starts to grow. I'm like, oh, I'm almost ready to make that purchase. And then like another Facebook page sale, we're like, oh, I got all these Green Lantern ones, and they're like, $5 to $10 each. I'm like, oh, F you, give it to me.
Pam, I'm happy you love the Legion.
Well, I'm kind of that way, too, with the Avengers stuff. Like, all right, I'm focused on getting Avengers, but if I see good deals for other stuff, I'm like,
I know. It's like,
it's hard to pass. It's a little easier for me to pass stuff up because I don't have the disposable income that you have. So sometimes it's like, I don't want to, but yeah, I gotta pass it up. But,
I also saw a complete run of Avengers today. The guy had to. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean that one, like I've got some of the bigger ones in that, like Vision, Wonder Man, some of them, but the big ones are going to be issue 1 and issue 4. Those are going to be the tough ones to get. All the, and then like the issues, all the pre 100 issues, those are ones like a lot of these older books. It's like $10 to $20 just for like any random issue of it that nothing spectacular happens in, just because of the age and what it is. So if I find great deals on them, I'll jump on them, but I think I'll focus more on like getting all the bulk stuff done. And there's a couple later ones that the ones I have are just beat to hell that I need to upgrade, and then as I get closer to completing, that's when I'll focus on the big ones.
It's a whittling process. You just gotta whittle them down, and that's what I'm doing with Unexpected and with House of Mystery. I mean, shit, I need about 120 House of Mysteries. Unexpected, I'm down to about 80, but I'm going to run into that trouble where the pre-code DCs are going to be hard to find.
Yeah. You know what I really want to finish is my Swamp Thing Volume 1.
Well, that's only 24 issues, so
I know. I'm missing only like 3 books.
Did you finish Weird Mystery Tales?
Yes, that's done.
So you did finally get that Bernie Wrightson one, the woodcutter.
Yes.
With the werewolves. Nice.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, and there's other stuff I'm looking at too. Like I'm 3 issues away from completing Invaders. So yeah. And those ones, they're not, they're not any of the issues that are pricey issues. They're just, it's like you with the Sergeant Rock ones. It's not like there's anything, they're not first appearances or anything like that. They're just 3 that I just haven't come across yet. And I could go like anything. I could go online. I could go on eBay and find them or something.
Yeah, I know. I want to find them in the raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
in the
same.
Wild.
In the wild.
In the wild.
Yeah. So I'm pretty close to completing Sensational She-Hulk too. I think I'm around 15 issues or less on that. So and the first 100 issues of G.I. Joe, I'm less than 20 issues away on that. So. It's balancing, like when you find stuff like, all right, I'm working on this or this, like, which one am I getting this time?
Well, when you find the right deal, even if it's something you're not particularly looking for at that time, you buy it. Last year from Al Stoltz, he had a bunch of these 10-cent Superboys for $5. Great shit. I wasn't looking for them, but you know what? Damn, I'm going to get them. So, yeah, my goal is all these DC titles that were being published in the late 50s to the 60s, these great characters. I want to have complete runs from there. So that's what I'm going to do with the Superboys and with the Adventure and, Action Detective. And I think Action Detective, Batman, and Superman, 3 of those 4, I am from the 50s ups, complete, uninterrupted. I think one of those titles, I need a book from 61, I think. But so those I've got. Wonder Woman, I won't get there. I won't get all those old Wonder Woman. So, but that'll be the one.
That would be a good name for a character. Gary Longhorn, the Action Detective.
Action Detective. I tell you the best name of a book in all Negro Comics #1, and there's only 1 issue.
Oh yeah, you're gonna spend some money if you want to get a copy of that one.
Well, I'm not gonna get the book, but I mean, and that book was canceled all of a sudden the paper was more expensive.
Yeah.
Printing was more expensive because the establishment could not have a book written, drawn, published by African Americans that had positive imagery in it. We can't have that. This was in the golden age in the 40s. We can't have that. Yeah. And they pretty much, I think the people behind Fawcett helped shut it down. But there's a character in issue 1, Ace Harlem. Come on. Yeah. I'm buying Ace Harlem. He was a detective. Yeah. Ace Harlem. What a great name that is.
Yeah.
You damn right. But you published a book right now called Ace Harlem. I don't care. I'm going to buy that book just because of that name.
That is a good name. But yeah, anybody look that book up. I mean, it's an important book, historically for the medium, but it's it's a pricey book, and even if you have the money to buy it, good luck finding one.
Well, right. Maybe I saw one once. Right. And there are a lot of people that collect their collections are Afrocentric, and they'll buy, especially a lot of African Americans, because it's part of their history,
Yeah.
that they would want to have that book, and it is pricey, but it's an important book. It's
like you said, that's one of those ones too that once people get in their collection, they don't really tend to let it go. Like people will let go, and the first Batman, like Detective 27, Action 1, like, yeah, they're super expensive, and they're hard to find, but you could find it if you really look. But Old Negro Comics, that's one that just seeing one would is
I think I've seen
hard.
I do believe I've seen a copy somewhere, but it hadn't been often.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cover of it right now. I'm
Yeah.
just looking it up. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, it's does it tell you what year? I want to say it was like 43, 44.
Hang on one second. Don't know. Don't see it on there.
Well, that's okay. It was Golden Age book, but Fawcett, I think Fawcett's the ones that helped shut them down.
1947.
47. Okay, it was after the war. Okay.
Yep.
So, but yeah, East Harlem. I think Lion Man was one of them, who was an African character.
Yeah, because there's no superheroes in it, so like where Black Panther is still considered the first black superhero. There's not black superheroes in this per se, but yeah, the one Lion Man is
he was just regular strength. Yeah, he's regular strength guy, but he was
that's the one that probably would come closest to being a superhero type character. More like a African Tarzan type of thing.
Yeah.
And, who knows if it was a book that had kept going after issue 1, almost certainly they would have gotten into superheroes at that point.
There was 2 black pixies, kind of like little pixie characters that had a feature too, but it was Ace Harlem that just, I'm like, man, that's it, that's the name, Ace Harlem. How freaking cool!
That is a cool name,
mm-hmm.
But not as cool as Gary.
Yeah. Gary Concord, the Ultraman. Yeah, that didn't last either.
Action Detective. I like it.
Action Detective.
I know. That's awesome.
Might have to do that. I don't know what would Gary Lawhorn Action Detective? What would he wear? Would it be a fedora?
It'd be a pimp outfit.
The pimp outfit. He'd be dressed like Huggy Bear.
Yeah, he'd be dressed like Huggy Bear.
Or what? Oh, what was his character from I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
Oh, I can't remember the name.
I remember the name, but remember he had fish.
And he was walking with him when he got to the tail, and the fish were dead, and the heel broke when he was walking.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a great movie.
Yeah,
that was.
Wait, you ain't gonna be telling me you're my son or nothing, are you? I don't want to be hearing no bullshit. Or when he got back from the army, his mother said, "I left your room just the way you left it." Oh, thanks, Mom. He opens it up, and it's like smelly, and there's flies around. He's like
buzzing,
dropping his stuff in there, closing the door, and running.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that's funny. We gotta take the stairs, or you're gonna go out the window. We'll take the stairs.
Oh man, that's real. How much for a soda? Oh, how about I just give you a nickel and you just pour some soda in my hands?
One rib. He wanted one rib.
One rib. He pulls out the
Can you break 100?
Yeah, break 100.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh my God, what a great movie!
Chris Rock.
That was.
Yeah,
that was. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up then. Thank you guys for joining us. And thank you guys for showing off your books and your back issues. Awesome stuff. Can't wait to see what you pull in next week. Ladies and gentlemen, we can see you next week on the podcast. Which one of you guys are on the podcast next week?
I think it's me and Mike, I think.
All right. You and Mighty Mike. And then, of course, next Thursday we have Juggernaut for our comic character of the week.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I'm the Juggernaut.
Listen, I love jugs.
Oh, yeah, I know you do.
When we used to have the beer pong league, my buddies was on another team, and his team name was Chuggernaut.
I like that. That's a good name.
My team name was Balls Deep.
Balls Deep is good. I like that too.
Good. Go Balls Deep all the time. All
It's my
right,
hat.
ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week. Take care and see you soon.